As a registered manager, I'm so proud of supporting this individual to go from being institutionalised to now being integrated into the community, going out for visits, buying food, meeting with people, and being able to support them in doing that. And this person had been institutionalised for 27 years, had not seen life, had not been involved in a community. The CPN, the PBS team, the registered manager, the general manager assessed, identified the needs, and we put a plan of care and support together. We took this individual home at the end of November, and they've been at home with us ever since.
The first time that I met the individual was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And something that I noticed straight away is how kind and caring and how they're always concerned of other people's well-being. And that was definitely recognised, that they didn't have any self-care for themselves, but they always cared of others. And we wanted to change that. We wanted them to start,
thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
The first thing that we started doing as a therapies team, and we were working alongside TSP at that point, we started attending ward rounds with the hospital, so we were going along and we were working out kind of exactly, wanted to get to know the person we're supporting, and we were looking at the transition from the start. So we analysed all the behavioural data that had been going on, when she was, and we looked at the triggers for her behaviours. So what we're trying to find out is what's causing the behaviours, and also the maintaining consequences of those behaviours, because behaviour is functional, so there's always a reason behind the behaviour.
And I think one of the things we did really well was get that initial staff team.
Yes.
And we kept the same staff team, and they stayed, and they're still there now. And they have built these relationships where they have helped the person to think about and to identify what they need.
Yeah.
So we developed this positive behaviour support plan alongside the multidisciplinary teams and the registered nurses in the hospital and the staff. And so we had this kind of functionally informed PBS plan. We also trained them on the proactive approaches. So how are we going to support the person to access the community? How are we going to support the person to visit their family? How are we going to support them when we start to see escalations in behaviour? How are we going to support the individual at those points? So if the person ever had questions for the staff team, they could write them down, and then we could find them out from the MDT, who we were working really closely with, and then we would take them back and we would feed them back, so then the person felt like their questions were being answered, they were being listened to. So the first plan was to get our staff into the hospital and start working alongside her so that we could build rapport, we could build those relationships. And myself and the speech and language therapist then started going into the hospital as well. It was quite a phased transition, so at first they were shadowing the staff in the hospital, and then they started working on her like 2-to-1 odds, and then eventually they were solely supporting her within the hospital. That went on for quite a long time, and at that point we were building a house in the community as well, so we were involved in developing the spec of the house. So that was a really big project, looking at how the house was going to be safe and functional for her.
Yeah.
So there has been huge amounts of reassurance. You are safe, you are fine, you are going to be okay. This is going to be your home. You are going to live here. You are going to have a garden with pink flowers, with strawberries. It's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
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 It wasn't really a social story, but it was a communication tool for the person, which basically showed them a little video of them moving from the hospital environment. So it had the background of the hospital in, it had the person in the hospital, it had the car that was hers, so the person was getting in the car, the staff team that were going to be with her, and they travelled to the new house, which the person had given a name to. So all of that was in there. And then there was a video of the person, the avatar that they had created in the house, kind of dancing in the kitchen, eating food in the dining room, looking around kind of the bedroom and those sort of things. And that was shared with her kind of a week before we moved out, which was really great for her, because actually it was really, it really helped the person that we're supporting kind of see and understand what was going to happen.
When this person first came out of hospital, what was quite apparent was that inner sense of safety wasn't there.
Yeah.
They didn't feel safe, did they? And so initially it was really difficult because they just wanted to stay in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And then over the weeks, that extended, didn't it? It extended from the bedroom to other parts of the house.
To then the garden.
To then the garden, and then it gradually went to being able to go out and have lunch.
Yeah. I would say a couple of weeks ago, I had a really good chat with the nurse on shift, and they were able to take them out into the community, have lunch in a public setting, and it was successful and no issues, no incidents. And I think that was, for myself, and I'm sure it's probably for Leslie too, is why we do this, is that we wanted that to become a reality, and we were able to do that.
We went to the shop, we crossed 3 roads, we went in, and the person we were supporting was looking around, and they were like, oh, I can't have that, you know, I'm not allowed to have that. And I'm like, why not? You know, this is the community, you can have what you want, it's your life, it's your money. And the person was a bit like, oh, well, I can have that then? I was like, absolutely, like, you know, it's your life, there's no reason why you can't have those things.
So to begin and to see that journey over the months, when we go in now, and the warmth and the smiles and the hugs.
Yeah.
The hugs are quite important.
Hugs are lovely.
Hugs are lovely.
And it's lovely to see the reduction as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, the incidents were happening on an hourly basis. Now, I think we're very lucky that it's probably once a week.
Yeah.
But that's because of the team giving that language of, you know, less talk. Instead of, you know, trying to inflict that harm, let's talk about why and give that validation and reassurance of, you are safe. You don't need to be in a hospital to feel safe. You can be anywhere as long as you feel safe in yourself.
In February 2024, there was 8 incidents, but actually 0 ended up in restricted physical interventions. When they went to hospital, the lowest was 10 and the highest was 48. However, I think the significant difference is that now the person we're supporting is being given time and the ability to calm down by themselves. And I think like the transition from you know, staying in a hospital for 27 years into the community is a massive milestone for the person we're supporting, and that, you know, potentially wouldn't have been possible without the support of the transition support services, you know, PBS input, moving out, kind of all of the consistency of support is so crucial for that to happen effectively. It's not down to one person, there's a massive multidisciplinary team of people who are involved, but that kind of continuum of care is really crucial, I think, for her. The person we support has got an amazing sense of resilience. There's been a lot that's happened in their lives, but actually they keep fighting and they keep going, and they keep smiling, which I think is incredible. They've got an absolutely wicked sense of humour, which is amazing. And I think, yeah, you know, if we continue to work in the way that we're going, I absolutely can see in the future, you know, the possibility of going out and making friends, which is something that's really important to them, is to have, you know, a life which makes them happy, a life that they want to lead. And I think one of those things is, you know, having a social life, and I think that's possible.